Hi guys! So it's been a pretty long while since I last made one of these kinds of videos, a my favourites of the month video, and I think the last time I made one of these videos was March 2018, which is a really long time ago, almost 4 years ago now, and those videos were really fun for me to make, and they were also like a cool way for me to show you guys like what I've been enjoying in each month and like sort of give recommendations for music, movies, things to do for you guys as well. And those videos just like gave you guys a bit more of an insight into like what I get up to like off camera and like what sort of things I enjoy. So yeah. So I remember that those videos were a lot of fun for me to make, and I decided to just start making them again. So here I am making another one of those videos for you guys today. So in this video, like the ones that I did back in 2018, I know that's so long ago, I'll be showing you guys my favourite book of the month, my favourite movie, my favourite video game, my favourite TV show, all those things. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So let's start with my favourite beauty product of this month, and my favourite beauty product was these Apricot wipes. I got these from Body Care, I think, and I think they were only 69p, which is really cheap. I really like these wipes because like they're apricot scented facial wipes, and they just like get rid of any makeup or any like oil off your face if you have like oily skin, and I just think these are just really useful and handy to just like have in your room to just pick up when you're like getting ready in the morning. They're also just really cute, like the little peach packaging is cute. So yeah, these wipes are my favourite beauty products of this month. I rate these wipes 8 out of 10. Now I'm going to talk about my favourite book this month, and my favourite book is Baby Love by Jacqueline Wilson. If you guys know me, you will know that Jacqueline Wilson is one of my favourite authors ever. She's like one of my writing idols. As you guys know, I am a writer myself, and I've taken a lot of inspiration over the years from her works and like the way she deals with like real girls and like their real life issues in her books, and I've always tried to like sort of emulate that in my own work. And when this book was first announced, I could not wait for it to be released because I found out that it is Jacqueline's return to writing young adult books. And although I love what she's doing now with her historical fiction for younger children, like those books are really good, like Dancing the Charleston and like the books that continue the Hetty Feather series. Like I really like all those books too, but like Jacqueline writing for teenagers is like my favourite sort of genre of her books. Like the books where she deals with like older kids going through like more serious topics, like those are my favourites. So when I heard that this book was coming out and it was going to be like that, like I knew that I was just going to buy it straight away. Also, another thing that made me want to buy this book as soon as it came out was that it was reviewed and recommended by Holly Bourne, who is another of my absolute favourite authors and writing heroes. She's like one of my favourite sort of more contemporary like YA writers. Her writing style is like quite similar to Jacqueline's in the way that she like writes about real girls and like real issues that they go through growing up. She also like weaves a lot of topics into her work that are more serious, like mental health and feminism and things like that. But Holly's work is like quite a bit more mature than Jacqueline's, but like I feel like this book is like quite similar to a Holly Bourne book really. If you guys are a fan of either Holly or Jacqueline, you might have seen on their social media that they recently did like a meet and greet together in London. They did like a discussion panel sort of event where they just like sort of talked about like feminism, mental health, all those issues together, and they discussed Baby Love by Jacqueline, and that event looked so good. Like imagine going to that event and hearing them speak about those issues and then being able to meet them both at the end. Like if I was at that event, that would just blow my mind. I'm so jealous of anyone who got to go to that, because like imagine. And Holly herself posted on social media after the event, like she said something like, they say you should never meet your heroes, but like not everyone is smart enough to have Jacqueline Wilson as their hero, and she took like a photo of them together I think, and it was just really cute. It was really lovely like to see two of my absolute writing idols like just being lovely to each other and just like sort of collaborating. I just really loved it. I wish I could have been there, but unfortunately I live in the northwest of England and I can't get to London to go to events like that. I really wish like events like that weren't just in London and like more things like that happened like nearer Manchester, which is near where I live, to give like more fans like the opportunity to meet authors and stuff. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to meet both of them one day. But anyway, let's talk a bit more about Baby Love. So I'm currently in the middle of reading this book. I have not actually finished it yet. I'm about 100 pages in, but so far I am absolutely loving this book. Like, it's so relatable, and like the friendships in this book, like they're just like the sort of friendships that every girl goes through at some point in their life, and like the dynamics between the characters are so real. And like I haven't got to like the part of the book where it's going to turn like pretty dark yet. Like, if you don't know what this book is about, it addresses like issues of like teenage pregnancy and like issues with like sort of first love and like relationships. So like this book goes into some like pretty heavy topics. I'm not quite at that part in the book yet, but I'm sure when I get to that part it's going to be like the issues are going to be addressed so well, and it's going to be so well written, and I'm looking forward to finishing this book. I'm really excited about it. On the back of this book there is also the quotes from Holly Bone, where she's like reviewing this book and giving it like the sort of like quote that goes on the top of like new books. And on the back of this book, Holly has said, "I loved this book. It was heartbreaking but warm, unflinching, yet somehow cosy. Nobody writes like Jacqueline Wilson. Long may she reign. I couldn't get these characters out of my head." So that is what Holly Bone has said about this book, and like, as a big fan of Holly, every time she has like her quote on the front of a book, like it makes me instantly buy the book. And like every time that I've bought a book that's been reviewed by her, I have not been disappointed. Like, it's reminded me a lot of like her writing style, and I've always like really enjoyed it. So yeah, this book has not disappointed me so far, and I'm sure it won't, as it's a Jacqueline Wilson book. But yeah, I picked up this book from Waterstones last week, and it had a discount on it, which is why I specifically went to Waterstones to pick up this book, because like I knew there would be a discount, and like I wanted to use that and like get some money off the book. So that's why it has this £3 off sticker. Like, this book was originally retail price at £13, but I got it for 10, which is a really good deal seeing as it's a brand new book. And I've not finished this book yet, as I've said, but I rate it 10 out of 10 anyway. Now I'm going to talk about the movie that I've enjoyed this month, and that is Turning Red. I saw a lot of people talking about Turning Red on social media, and a lot of people like really loved it and said that it was a great movie. So like I decided to watch it, and it was a fun family movie. I did quite enjoy it. I also love that it was about red pandas as well, and if you know me, you will know that my favourite animal ever is a red panda. And it was just really cute to see red pandas sort of getting recognition as like a cute animal and getting their own Disney movie. That was nice, because I feel like red pandas are an underrated animal. I also really liked like the representation of like real girls and real friendships, and just like the representation of like normal girls who aren't afraid to like what they like and just like be themselves and not like feel pressured to fit in with anyone. Like the girls in this movie are just like really open about like being obsessed with their favourite boy band called Four Town. And that's another thing that I really liked about this movie, like the representation of sort of like fan culture and like being a fan of a band. Like the scenes where May was saving up all her money to get concert tickets to see Four Town, like that was relatable for me. I feel like I did relate a lot to some scenes in this movie, and it was quite cute and fun. But I don't know what it was about this movie. Like, I feel like there was just like something missing that stopped it from like entering my top favourite Disney Pixar movies ever. I feel like maybe if this movie focused a little bit more like heavily on like the fan culture part of it, or like maybe if like in the movie May was like sort of a bit of a outcast at school, and it sort of like focused on her having like struggles fitting in or something, I feel like that might have like brought a little bit more to her character and like given her character like a bit more depth. I don't know, I mean, it was a good movie and I did enjoy it, but I feel like there was just something small lacking from it, if you know what I mean. I don't really know what that something is though, so for that reason I'm going to give Turning Red 8 out of 10. Now I'm going to talk about my favourite album of this month, and that is I Don't Live Here Anymore by The War on Drugs. I was going to pick Pressure Machine Deluxe by The Killers for my album of the month, but I feel like I've been posting so much about Pressure Machine Deluxe on this channel recently, so I decided to just like have a bit of variety. I mean, you guys all know that I love Pressure Machine Deluxe obviously, so I feel like I don't need to mention it again in this video. I've already like promoted it enough recently. So yeah, my pick for this month is Instead, an album that I also have been listening to basically every day for the last month, and that is I Don't Live Here Anymore by The War on Drugs. This album is just an incredible album. I just love it. every single song is just like so anthemic, and like it really does remind me a lot of The Killers. Like you can really tell that this album was produced by Sean Everett, who also produced Imploding the Mirage and Pressure Machine. Like you can really tell that this album was made at the same time as those two albums. Like there's a lot of like Killers that you can hear on this album. It's just like a very similar sound with similar vibes, and I really love that about it. I talked about this album before in my HMV haul video, so if you guys haven't seen that, you can go and check that out. Like when I first picked this CD up in the HMV haul in December, like I liked this album and I'd listened to it a few times when I picked it up, and I thought, oh, it's a good album, I like it, so I'll buy it. But like recently I went back to it and listened to it again, and suddenly, I don't know how or why, but like I'm suddenly obsessed with this album. I feel like that was how I was with Pressure Machine as well though. Like I listened to it a few times and like it didn't really click with me, and then I went back a few days later and I was like, whoa, this is my favourite album to ever exist. And I had that with I Don't Live Here Anymore as well. But I really love this album. It's just got such a great sound, and like the lyrics are so inspirational as well, and like so uplifting. And I listen to this album a lot in like the mornings to sort of like get me pumped up for the day. Like it's that kind of album. It's really positive and it's just like gives such good vibes. Also, the guitar solos on this album, like how they're just amazing. I'll tell you guys my favourite songs from this album, and they are Change, I Don't Wanna Wait, I Don't Live Here Anymore, and Occasional Rain. So yeah, if you guys haven't heard this album already and you're into like sort of Americana stadium rock kind of music, similar to like Bruce Springsteen and like The Killers and all those kinds of artists, do go and check out this album. Like it is just an amazing album. I give this album 10 out of 10. Now I'm going to give you guys a song recommendation for this month. And I feel like I always choose my song recommendation from the album that I'm recommending as well. So I'm going to pick a song from I Don't Live Here Anymore for you guys, and it's going to be the title track, I Don't Live Here Anymore. So here it is, you guys. Hope you enjoy. This is like a bit of a taster of this band if you want to get into them. So here it is, I Don't Live Here Anymore by The War on Drugs.
I'm gonna walk through every doorway I can stop. I need some time, I need control, I need your love. I wanna find out everything I need to know. I'm gonna say everything that there is to say. Although you've taken everything I need away, I'm gonna make it to the place I need to go. We're all just walking through this darkness on our own.
I give this song 10 out of 10. Now I'm going to talk about my favourite video game of this month, and it is Band Hero. I know in 2018 when I did my last Things of the Month video, I think I recommended Guitar Hero in that one, and you're probably going to be like, that's basically the same as Band Hero, why are you recommending it again? But I recently got into Band Hero again because I've started playing it with the drums and not the guitar now, because I'm trying to like sort of get in the mindset to actually learn to play drums. I don't know if I'm actually going to end up like buying a drum kit and like actually getting into playing the drums, but I'm just sort of practicing on like Band Hero with like the electronic drum kit that you get for that at the moment, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I actually end up like learning to play the drums or not. I feel like Band Hero is like a really good way to like practice like learning an instrument before you actually sort of get to learning the real thing. I feel like it just like does a good job at like getting you ready to do that, because you can start at easy mode and then you can like work your way up to like medium, hard, expert mode, and then like once you're good at like hard or expert mode, maybe like that shows you that like you're ready to actually start playing the instrument. So yeah, it's pretty good for that. I give Band Hero 10 out of 10. Now I'm going to recommend a TV show to you guys, and my TV show for this month is Gavin and Stacey. I'm sure like most people probably have already watched like the entire full series of Gavin and Stacey, but I mean it's just like a really like nice comforting TV show, and like I feel like I've watched like every episode like about 3 or 4 times by now. Like I've rewatched it so many times because like it's always on TV, the repeats of it, but it's just like quite a cozy, cute TV show. And if you guys have never seen this TV show, like if you don't live in the UK, maybe you've never seen it. But basically the storyline of this TV show revolves around Gavin, who's from London, who falls in love with Stacey, who is from Wales, and it's sort of like the sort of like culture clash between like England and Wales, like mixed with their love story as well. And like there's a lot of really good comedy in it as well, with like Gavin and Stacey's friends and like the way they all interact with each other. Like it's just a really fun, relatable TV show. And like if you've never seen it, I definitely do recommend it. So yeah, that's my TV show recommendation for the month, and I give Gavin and Stacey 10 out of 10. Okay, that's all my recommendations for this month, guys. I hope if you decide to seek out the things that I've recommended, I hope you enjoy them. And don't forget to comment down below and share your opinions on any of the things that I've talked about in this video. Also, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to. Bye, guys!